Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
The medical marijuana. The medical marijuana. Radio show. The medical marijuana for you and me. Ah, yeah, the medical marijuana. Whoa, 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 ah, yeah, the medical. It's the medical marijuana show. You will know. I want to talk to you.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Medical Marijuana Radio for Friday, April the 18th, 2014. I am your host, Larry Love, and we're here every Friday and Saturday nights. Friday nights at 9 p.m. Pacific and Saturday nights at 6 p.m. Pacific. And to bring you the latest information on medical marijuana, recreational marijuana, anything that's going on in this new industry that is just blowing up. And of course, finally, it is here. This is the big weekend. I was supposed to go to Denver, but some other things kept me in town. But I do have a correspondent that will be calling in tomorrow night to let us know what's going on at the Big High Times Cannabis Cup and the celebration in Denver. This is the first real year that the 420 celebration is taking place when there's marijuana available to anybody who is 21 years or over. So dispensaries are open, people are buying, and of course, for recreational, they're paying a big, hefty tax, maybe 25% or more. But, you know, that's okay. You know, we have legalized marijuana. It's better than going to jail for getting caught with a joint. So tonight's going to be cleanup night a little bit. I've got a bunch of interesting stories that haven't been able to play because we've had some just great guests and haven't had time to play much news. So we're going to clean up and play a bunch of stuff. And but if you want to call in and talk about marijuana, cannabis, weed, pot, ganja, the mez, the numbers are 505-514-0098 in the 575 area, 519-4MMJ. Arizona, 623-399-4MMJ. California, 818-8500 MMJ. And of course, you can Skype if you have Skype. That's the best way, best quality. It's MMJRadio. And if you want to call in, since it's just cleanup night, I'll pause whatever recording is on. I won't pause the music though. Don't call during the music. And I'll pause and we'll put you on the air. So first up, Whoopi Goldberg is now writing for the Cannabist, part of the Denver Post. I've read many articles from the Cannabist, and here's Whoopi talking about her vape pen, which if you're watching live on my show right now, you know what the vape pens are. And here's Whoopi on vape pens.
Whoopi Goldberg has a rather long resume. Actress, Oscar winner, talk show host, and now pot columnist.
Oh, okay.
Whoopi's writing a bi-monthly column about marijuana, of course, for the Denver Post. She says that the drug, now legal in Colorado, helps her battle the effects of glaucoma. And her first column is dedicated to her vape pen, a portable inhalation device that looks like this. She calls hers Sippy. Anyone?
At least it has a nickname. Here's part of Whoopi's first column. These glaucoma-induced headaches come on like freight trains, but then, referring to her vape pen, Whoopi says, I find her and it relaxes everything. She takes the ache out. It's wonderful. Whoopi says she isn't looking for a high, she's looking for a relief.
Wow. Interesting. Yeah. Guess if it works, right?
So that's the Today Show on NBC talking about Whoopi. And of course, tomorrow night during the news, I'll probably read an article that she wrote about this. She calls her little vape pen Sippy. And it seems to help her a lot with glaucoma and other things. So that's Whoopi Goldberg. Now, again, This is the big weekend for the 420 celebration, so if you're going up there tomorrow or Sunday, there's some things you should know. And first up, they are expecting big changes at the rally this year. So here's what they are expecting.
New tonight, a promise for big changes at Denver's 420 celebration. Last April 20th, that marijuana party was a massive smokeout in Civic Center Park. But organizers say things will be different this time. Tom Mustin on the story time. They say it'll remind us of Taste of Colorado.
Well, we'll see about that, Jim. It's actually a two-day event this year, that 19th and the 20th. It'll feature vendors here all across the park and a lot of great bands as well. In fact, where I'm walking, there'll be a giant stage featuring bands like Wyclef Jean and B.O.B. But the big difference this year is that marijuana will not be welcome here at the 420 Festival. That's something that has a lot of city leaders very skeptical. Denver residents have a lot of questions about the new, improved 420 Festival.
How is a pot rally going to be family friendly?
This year, the annual Pot Rally at Civic Center Park will be a two-day event. The festival will feature 15 bands, 2 stages, and 200 art and food vendors. The one item noticeably missing, pot. Organizer Miguel Lopez says the group has obtained city permits to put on a Taste of Colorado-like festival.
Street closures, additional staging, bag checks, and no coolers.
Lopez says the group has worked hard to avoid last year's nightmare where shots rang out at the park. Heavy security has been added. Signs will be posted to remind festival goers that even though recreational pot is legal, smoking pot in public is not. Denver City Council member Charlie Brown has been a vocal opponent of 420.
Easter Sunday, worshiping weed, that's their right.
Brown has doubts that a festival glorifying marijuana can actually be smoke and trouble-free.
They're being watched very carefully by the city. If anything happens like it did last year, this could be the last year for 420 at Civic Center.
And as the clock ticks down to the 20th, marijuana has once again put Colorado on center stage.
It'll be interesting to see how it all plays out.
It will be interesting, and they're expecting about 150,000 people here over the two-day event. There will be heavy security, as I mentioned, and now the question is, what will happen when and if someone does try to smoke pot here on the grounds? We'll find out in 10 days. We're live in Civic Center Park in Denver. Tom Mustin, CBS 4 News.
So, you know, for the last 30 years, they've been having 420 rallies in Denver, and they've been smoking pot when it was illegal. So I'm sure that everybody's just going to light up. There's just, you know, they weren't doing anything about it when it wasn't legal, and so I don't expect them to do anything. But we'll have to see how that rolls out tomorrow. Next up, there's also, if you're going to Colorado, there's a brand new, very upscale chic dispensary on 16th Street at the mall, and they're targeting tourists, so this might be a place for you. And here's this report.
Okay. Basically, I mean, we are located on the 16th Street Mall, and we are the only dispensary directly located on the 16th Street Mall. There are some off, but we're on 16th and Tremont, which is an ideal location because, as you know, it is one of the most visited places in Colorado for tourists. And our business model is a little unique because, unlike having a bud tender behind the counter who hands you a jar and you sniff it and then put it back and then try another one, and the bud tender will spend up to 30, 40 minutes with just one client, what we have decided to do is we have tablets, so it's really interactive. So the customer can come in, they can look at the tablet, read what the strain is, read about the levels, the quality, the effects, the medical uses, and then they can pick up the jar that's right beside it, take off the lid, and give it a smell. And there's 20 different strains that we have, so they can work at their own pace. They can go back and forth between strains if they can't make a decision, and that way it takes less time for the bud tenders, but it also allows the patients to not feel pressure, especially people from out of state. They may not be comfortable or familiar with marijuana, so for them to be able to do it at their own pace and just ask questions and not feel pressured, we feel that's a real advantage for us. I don't think anybody has done that technology. That's why we're so excited about it. And you may notice on the jars we do have it that it's patent pending, that this is an idea strictly to what we've started to do. So we met up with a design firm called Iconic TV, and they took our idea and put them on the tablets. They locked them down so the customers can't get off that specific page. And like I said, all the information.
So just to explain to you, what they have are a bunch of iPads or tablet type devices that are set up sort of like Verizon, where they, where you like when you look at an iPad, when you want to sign up for one and buy one, they're like set up on a little stand, and then the whole menu and everything is on the iPad, and you can just flip through it and look at different strains and everything. It's very cool. So, all right, so back to the report.
That you would probably normally get from a bud tender is directly on that tablet, so they can read it, comprehend it, and then ask questions later to save time during the bud tending process. Basically, some of them tell where the genetics started, depending on when it was, if they're crossbred, and then what kind of strain they are, if they're an indica, sativa, or a hybrid. It also tells how much THC is in them, or CBD. They also discuss what it might smell like, what it might taste like, what the positive effects are, what the negative effects could be, and like I said, what the medicinal uses could be. Some of them also describe what awards they may have won throughout the years. And then hopefully in the future, we're going to have our bud tenders and our customers write reviews for us on the strain.
So already, bud tenders, which have always, been in existence for the last 10 or 15 years, are going to be obsolete. They're going to replace us with iPads. Wonderful. Anyway, that's the shop in the 16th Street Mall in Denver, and it sounds interesting. I would definitely check it out if I ever go up there. But also, here's another short report about Incredibles chocolate bars. And if you've never had an edible in your life, you have to be very, very careful with your dosage. Or you could really get messed up and maybe never want to try it again. And edibles can be really, really helpful to people and a good time recreationally. So here's something about dosage that I always talk about. So check this one out.
Go. Hi, my name is Bob Esquino, and you're here at Medically Correct, the home of Incredibles chocolate bars.
And Bob, tell us, we're doing the story on dosing, and you and I were just talking about it, but what's a good place to start if you've never tried marijuana, if you're concerned about edibles? How much do you recommend?
We recommend people who are trying our 100 milligram bars to start out with a half a square, which is approximately 4 milligrams of activated THC. Wait for an hour and a half to 2 hours and see how that affects you. Typically, light users, a half a square to 1 square will be plenty, especially for your first time.
So anywhere from 5 to 10 milligrams?
Yeah, that's a nice place to start.
All right, thanks.
You're welcome.
Okay, so 5 to 10 milligrams, I agree. Of course, you'd have to look at the candy bar. If you buy a candy bar that's 10 little squares is 180 milligrams, then you have to do your math and divide it up to what would be. So a half a bar is going to be 90, and then half of that's going to be 45 and so forth. So just breaking off a little piece of a cookie or a brownie is generally the best way to get started with somebody who has never had an infused edible cannabis product before. They really can be great. So next up, I always like to play something when I find it about that gentleman, and I use that word loosely, Kevin Sabet from the SAM organization, who's totally against cannabis. So here is Mr. Sabet once again saying stupid stuff.
Kevin Sabet told his audience to watch Colorado and learn from the deadly mistakes. He predicts pot will mean more car crashes and more kids addicted.
Today's pot is not the marijuana smoked by baby boomers at Woodstock. It's, 3 to 10 times stronger.
Sabet says there are clearly medical benefits from some of the chemicals in pot as medicine, not joints. Those coming to listen today were asked how they would vote in Iowa.
We do feel like there are some potential medical benefits to marijuana. However, there are also some risks associated with smoking and eating marijuana.
I definitely think it's worth looking into because there's so many myths out there.
Some have criticized Iowa Governor Terry Branstad even for his views on medical marijuana, saying that they date back to the Dark Ages, or at least to reefer madness. The 1930s movie suggested pot turns people into paranoid killer sex fiends. Sabet says his arguments are based on science.
I think your governor is right to be skeptical. He's right to be questioning this movement. There is this narrative that legalization is inevitable here in Iowa and everywhere else, and I don't believe that at all.
Covering the corridor in Cedar Rapids, Matt Himmel, CBS 2 News, 10 at 10.
So that's a report out of Iowa, and a lot of states are definitely going to be legalizing for medical this coming November. So we'll have to see what's going on. And again, Kevin Sabet is just on the wrong side of history, life, and reality. One more before we take a break. Here is a mom, I believe in New York, who is fighting for medical marijuana there for her child.
Oliver is 14 years old. He had a stroke when I was pregnant with him, so he has a lot of medical problems. One of them being refractory seizures. He has a type of seizure pattern that does not respond to traditional medications. There you go. I have been trying very hard to advocate for compassionate use of medical marijuana here in New York. I first heard about medical marijuana from my husband, who had heard it on a radio show, and I looked into it. There were more and more stories cropping up every day about children in legal states that were getting access to a particular strain of medical marijuana, and their seizures were significantly reducing or stopping in some cases. This bill needs to be brought up on the floor for a Senate vote. We have enough senatorial support right now that if it were allowed to be brought up on the floor, it would pass. I truly believe this will help. I expect that it's not a snap-my-finger miracle cure, but I also expect from what has been reported more and more every day that this can help him, that this will reduce his seizures. Right now, it's not only a threat to his life, it's a threat to his development.
So again, that's out of New York, and they have passed some kind of a minimal medical marijuana program there. We'll have to see how that works out. So we'll be right back after the words from our sponsors with some more news. And then, of course, if you want to call in, 505-514-0098 is open right now. Of course, all the lines are open. So we'll be right back after this.
It's all about the 420 MMJ Radio.
Hi, as you know, over the next few years, the cannabis industry is going to explode into a multi-million-dollar industry. 420webdesign.com is your affordable design provider. 420 Web Design prides themselves on fair prices and a grounded staff. They listen to their ganjapreneurs' website needs. Getting into the marijuana industry doesn't need to break your bank. Our sites come with tons of features. Just a few of them include responsive designs for mobile viewers, easy to update platforms, built-in SEO and SMO tools, enterprise-level security, video tutorials, database backups, Google Maps, onboard analytics, and much more. This is backed by a decade of website design and development experience. For all of your 420 web design needs, go to 420webdesign.com. Again, 420webdesign.com. Check them out.
Serious Seeds is your source for quality cannabis and sativa seeds. Serious Seeds are the creators of legendary strains like AK-47, Bubblegum, Chronic, Cali Mist, and White Russian. The AK-47 is probably the most awarded strain on the planet. The high THC content of AK-47 makes it the perfect medical strain for patients seeking quick pain relief. Cali Mist is an almost pure sativa. Female medical cannabis patients have reported that this strain helps relieve menstrual cramps. Serious Seeds just acquired another Dutch high-quality seed bank, Magus Genetics. From now on, Serious Seeds can offer you even more award-winning strains. The fine folks at Serious Seeds strive to breed the best cannabis genetics that they can find, so patients can rely on the effectiveness of their medicine. Go to SeriousSeeds.com to grow your medicine. That site again is SeriousSeeds.com.
Hi, this is Larry Love from Medical Marijuana Radio. Please listen to this important information about a great device by MagicalButter.com to make your oils, tinctures, and butter.
Magical Butter is a device with a microprocessor-controlled program sequence designed by a scientist and a chemist to precisely extract the benefits of various herbs. We believe in herbal remedies and using pharmaceutical pills only when medically necessary. Our device is simple to use. Combine herbs with butter or oil, press a button, and walk away. Magical Butter does everything else. It grinds, heats, and stirs. Please browse our site to discover how to eat the treat. Thank you for your support, and have a magical day.
Again, for your tinctures, butter, and oils, that's MagicalButter.com. This is a great appliance. Use coupon code LOVE to get $20 off.
THCF Medical Clinics are the premier physicians clinic in the United States. THCF has offices all across the United States from Hawaii to Michigan. THCF Medical Clinics has helped approximately 150,000 patients obtain their medical marijuana permits to legally possess, grow, and use medical marijuana. If you have chronic pain, multiple sclerosis, or any other neurological degenerative disease, or if you have any gastrointestinal disorders such as GERD, irritable bowel syndrome, or if you have AIDS, cancer, spastic disorders, seizure disorders, or glaucoma, call us at 1-800-723-0188 or visit us online at hemp.org. Again, the number is 1-800-723-0188 and the site is HEMP.org.
The medical marijuana. The medical marijuana. Radio show.
Hey, this is Scott from Rare Dankness. You're listening to Medical Marijuana Radio.
Thank you, Scott from Rare Dankness. If you have something entered into the cup this weekend, I wish you the best of luck. Your Moonshine Haze is an amazing strain. And so we are back again, and let's see what I got for you. Again, if you want to call in, I'll be glad to stop the recordings, but not the music that I will be playing in this segment. Here's a really great piece. I'm from New Jersey originally, and so I really watch what's going on there. And of course, Governor Christie is just another Kevin Sabet. And here's a mother. Her name is Paula Joanna, who confronts Governor Christie. Now, this is a long one, but it's worth it because it's really an amazing piece. If you get a chance, you might want to Google it also and maybe watch the video. But here is this mother fighting for medical marijuana, and here's what happened.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name's Paula Joanna. I imagine my daughter's name might ring a bell with you. Her name is Sabina Rose.
Go ahead.
December 2nd, you made a speech about you won't expand the medical marijuana program. In the very hour you did that, I took my baby off a ventilator. She died from Dravet syndrome. She had a 24-hour seizure. This is what happens when you don't get the proper medical marijuana program installed in the state. You mentioned before that maybe you have to force these dispensaries to provide it, and that's exactly what you need to do.
Listen, first of all, let me say, yes, I do know your daughter's name, and I'm horribly sorry for what's happened to your daughter. And this program, as it was put together when it was originally sent to me, didn't provide for what you're talking about. We then changed it to allow edibles to come in last year, in the summer. We had no way of knowing that they would not produce the edibles. So I'm saying to you now what I said to the woman over there. As we see problems in the program, we'll try to fix it. But the bill that was sent to me by Governor Corzine on the day of my inauguration didn't provide for this. We then saw the problem, worked with the legislature, we compromised, we authorized edibles for minors. Now we're finding that dispensaries are not producing the edibles because they don't make a profit for them, because there's not enough of a demand. So now we have to go back and see, do we have to, in fact, as a condition of the license, force them to do it?
Yes.
But every time we do this, just understand that every time we do this, it makes it less and less likely that these people want to be in business, because they're in business to make money. And that's why I originally urged a hospital-based program, which was not authorized in the bill that the legislature approved. So we're continuing to try to help to figure this out. I didn't think you're going to have to force people to produce something. Now, we're seeing that we may have to. But understand that if we do that, the reaction that may be that some of them may decide to close if it's not profitable. So I completely sympathize with you. I can't possibly imagine what you're going through as a parent of 4. I can't imagine it. To feel helpless to help your child. And I'm trying to get to a place where we can do this. But if I legalized marijuana tomorrow,
Hang on.
that wouldn't make there to be edibles. If I did, but I'm trying to figure out a problem to fix it in a way that will actually bring help to children who are having the suffering that your child had.
Meanwhile, I'm just going to interrupt here for a second. The medical marijuana law there in New Jersey, again, has not been escalated at all. There's only, I think, 3 dispensaries in the whole state. And he has put a limit on the amount of THC. I think it's supposed to be 10%. Now, I don't know how they're regulating that or not, but you know, CBD, which the children need for seizures, also needs some THC in it to really act properly. We've talked about that before. So, you know, restricting anything for medical use is ridiculous. All right, we're back.
I did a lot of my own research with my husband. We've talked to dispensary owners. We know what works and what doesn't. We knew my daughter, we started the process of getting her medical marijuana card in August. She still didn't have it in November because of all the roadblocks. I put her to bed one night and she never woke up. She suffered a 24-hour seizure. The day that I put her to bed was the day her application was supposed to be submitted. The doctors on the medical marijuana program need to be trained. Some of them shouldn't even be on that list. Like the things that we went through to try to get my girl this card, it took so long and she ran out of time. I have a 5-month-old son going to the ICU. She was put in a coma. She was in it for 5 days. I had a 2-month-old baby. My life is so difficult because I don't have her. And it could be easily solved. My husband and I know many solutions. We have great suggestions.
Well,
I call your office constantly, and I don't get any response. I deserve an hour of your time one-on-one.
Well, an hour of my time one-on-one would do, an hour, listen, if I thought that giving you an hour of my time one-on-one would solve this problem all by itself, I'd give it to you.
It wouldn't,
The
but it
fact
would
is-
make my husband and I feel better. I voted for you twice. I live here my whole life. My daughter's only been to the shore once. She's only been to a park once. She had 1 birthday party, 1 Christmas. 1.
I understand, and I know, and we're trying to fix the problem. And we will sit down with you and work with you to get your suggestions, like we're getting from lots of parents who are in your situation, who my staff has met with and has taken suggestions from. But the one thing I would respectfully disagree with you about is that if the problem was easy to solve, it would be solved. And it's not easy to solve. I understand, but I want you to know that people hear it that way.
No, I didn't mean it that
And
way.
so let's work together to try to solve it. And it'll be Jean Ashmore, who's right over standing up against the wall there, who's the head of my constituent relations. We'll set up time for you to come down, sit with us, tell us about your experience, and we'll try to work with the legislature to fix the problem. But this is what happens, and this is not your problem, but you're suffering from it. when a bill gets passed on the day before the new governor's being sworn in, gets signed into law in the middle of the night, nobody thinks about what the effects are going to be of it. They don't think it through. They just go ahead and do it. And so I'm left to fix that problem. I'm going to fix the problem. We've made it better than it was before. And if there's ways that you can show us I can make it better, as long as it stays as a medically based program, I don't have any objection to it. When I say I'm not going to expand marijuana in the state, so that you're clear about this, what I mean is I'm not going to decriminalize or legalize. But I have said, and I proved last summer, that if there are changes that need to be made that will help to get people who are truly sick care that they need, I'm open to making those changes. But what I fear is that a lot of people, not you, but folks who are advocates, as I said to the woman before, use really tragic circumstances as an excuse to say, well, let's just legalize. So I've got to walk that line, but I'm ready to walk that line with you. And I wish that what had happened to you hadn't happened.
Me too.
I can't prevent it, but we're going to try to make sure that it doesn't happen to you or to anybody else again, and we'll continue to work with you on it.
Okay.
Thanks.
So basically, he wants to not legalize or decriminalize. He wants to keep putting people in jail for marijuana. Good job. Good job, Chris Christie. Now, that was a very powerful piece. Anyway, back into some more lighter stuff. I think this next piece is from Washington State, and it's about business owners hosting pot classes to teach people about the industry, I think is what this one is. So let's take a listen.
Good evening. We now know who will get the state's first license to legally grow recreational marijuana.
It's a guy with the last name of Green. Sean Green will officially receive the producer-processor license tomorrow morning. He's the chief executive of a company called Couchlock Productions. It's based in Spokane. The license will allow Green to grow 21,000 feet of cannabis. Green has run medical marijuana dispensaries in Shoreline and Spokane for the past few years.
Meantime, here at home, there is an effort underway to get growers, sellers, and users started off on the right foot in this uncharted territory. As King 5's Jake Wittenberg shows us, marijuana ethics class could soon be in session.
Same old every day. It's what we do.
When Naomi McCullough quit her job at the bakery last month, she never thought she'd be rolling joints for medical marijuana patients.
It pays the rent, pays the bills. I have a child. That's not cheap.
But it's here at the Northwest Patient Resource Center where the single mom is making a paycheck and getting inspired to spark a new career.
I'm proud to be here. It'd be awesome to be able to own my own shop.
With Washington State on the verge of issuing its first ever recreational marijuana license, others are thinking that way too. That's why her boss,
I've done it.
John Davis, a longtime businessman and dispensary owner, is leading a series of new classes. He and other professionals, called the Coalition for Cannabis Standards and Ethics, want to make sure the state is successful in this new uncharted territory. Classes begin next month, starting with marijuana policy, permitting, and processing.
I've seen a lot of the education that's out there, and really it's education being done by people that have no experience in the industry.
Consider what he's doing to be kind of a how-to guide. Imagine a complete idiot's guide, the first of its kind, not just to sport flying, for example, but a complete idiot's guide to marijuana.
We fought the guerrilla war, and we know what works and what doesn't.
Davis also wants to learn from early success found in Colorado, where recreational marijuana is now legal.
When we turn the system on initially, it's going to look anything except successful. And then we're going to have to come in and make some changes. But eventually, yeah, you're going to have legitimacy.
And eventually his advice could help dreamers like McCullough who want to get in at the ground level.
Think about the gold rush. You know, how many opportunities did people pass by because they didn't believe the gold was there?
Well, these three classes begin April 5th in Ballard. It's $250 for those three classes. By the way, the Liquor Control Board, they don't sponsor these types of sessions, but they tell me that they do have seminars to help people navigate through the sometimes confusing application process. Live in Seattle, Jake Wittenberg, King 5 News.
Okay, this is the big weekend, so let's take a break from all this serious stuff and get ready for 420.
Half a mile from the county fair, and the rain came pouring down. Me and Billy standing there with a silver half a crown. Hands are full of a fishing rod and the tackle on our backs. We just stood there getting wet with our backs against the fence. Oh, the water. Oh, the water. Oh, the water. Hope it don't rain all day. And it stung me to my soul. Stung me just like jelly rolls. And it stung me. Yet it stung me to my soul. Stung me just like going home. Yet it stung me. And the rain let up and the sun came up. We were getting dry. Almost let a pickup truck nearly pass us by. So he jumped right in the driver grin, and he dropped us up the road. Yeah, we looked at the swim, and we jumped right in, not to mention fishing poles. Oh, the water. Yeah, that stung me to my soul. Stung me just like jelly roll. Yeah, that stung me. Yeah, that stung me to my soul. Stung me just like going home. Yeah, that stung me. Getting dry. That we saw the man from across the road with the sunshine in his eye. Well, he lived all alone in his own little home with a great big gallon jar. There were bottles too, one for me and you. And he said, hey, there you are. Oh, the water. Oh, the water. Oh, the water. Jetted myself from the mountain stream. Yet it stung me to my soul. Stung me just like jelly roll. And it stung me. Yet it stung me to my soul. Stung me just like going home. Yet it stung.
Okay, we'll be right back after these words from our sponsors.
It's all about the 420 MMJ Radio.
THCF Medical Clinics are the premier physicians clinic in the United States. THCF has offices all across the United States from Hawaii to Michigan. THCF Medical Clinics has helped approximately 150,000 patients obtain their medical marijuana permits to legally possess, grow, and use medical marijuana. If you have chronic pain, multiple sclerosis, or any other neurological degenerative disease, or if you have any gastrointestinal disorders such as GERD, irritable bowel syndrome, or if you have AIDS, cancer, spastic disorders, seizure disorders, or glaucoma, call us at 1-800-723-0188 or visit us online at hemp.org. Again, the number is 1-800-723-0188 and the site is hemp.org.
Hi, this is Larry Love from Medical Marijuana Radio. Please listen to this important information about a great device by magicalbutter.com to make your oils, tinctures, and butter.
Magical Butter is a device with a microprocessor-controlled program sequence designed by a scientist and a chemist to precisely extract the benefits of various herbs. We believe in herbal remedies and using pharmaceutical pills only when medically necessary. Our device is simple to use. Combine herbs with butter or oil, press a button, and walk away. Magical Butter does everything else. It grinds, heats, and stirs. Please browse our site to discover how to eat the treat. Thank you for your support, and have a magical day.
Again, for your tinctures, butter, and oils, that's magicalbutter.com. This is a great appliance. Use coupon code LOVE to get $20 off.
Serious Seeds is your source for quality cannabis and sativa seeds. Serious Seeds are the creators of legendary strains like AK-47, Bubblegum, Chronic, Cali Mist, and White Russian. The AK-47 is probably the most awarded strain on the planet. The high THC content of AK-47 makes it the perfect medical strain for patients seeking quick pain relief. Cali Mist is an almost pure sativa. Female medical cannabis patients have reported that this strain helps relieve menstrual cramps. Serious Seeds just acquired another Dutch high-quality seed bank, Magus Genetics. From now on, Serious Seeds can offer you even more award-winning strains. The fine folks at Serious Seeds strive to breed the best cannabis genetics that they can find, so patients can rely on the effectiveness of their medicine. Go to SeriousSeeds.com to grow your medicine. That site again is SeriousSeeds.com.
Hi, as you know, over the next few years, the cannabis industry is going to explode into a multi-million-dollar industry. 420webdesign.com is your affordable design provider. 420 Web Design prides themselves on fair prices and a grounded staff. They listen to their ganjapreneurs' website needs. Getting into the marijuana industry doesn't need to break your bank. Our sites come with tons of features. Just a few of them include responsive designs for mobile viewers, easy to update platforms, built-in SEO and SMO tools, enterprise-level security, video tutorials, database backups, Google Maps, onboard analytics, and much more. This is backed by a decade of website design and development experience. For all of your 420 web design needs, go to 420webdesign.com. Again, 420webdesign.com. Check them out.
The medical marijuana. The medical marijuana. Radio show.
Okay, we are back. Just two more little stories and then another piece of music, and we'll be out of here, getting ready for it tomorrow. And so this next one I thought was very powerful. This is Dr. Bob Townsend on why medical marijuana should be approved for PTSD. Now, a lot of states don't have it in their medical program. I think New Mexico, here where I live, was the first one, and others have followed. So this is very powerful. Of course, you know, PTSD is not only for veterans, but you know, just for them, you know, it should be legal nationally and federally. But you know, there's many other people that have you know, traumatic incidences in their lives, and medical marijuana is really helping them. So here's Dr. Bob Townsend.
Veterans are not the only people that suffer from post-traumatic stress. Victims of violent crime suffer from post-traumatic stress. Battered spouses suffer from post-traumatic stress. Significant medical issues that are sudden and life-altering, such as a CVA, can result in post-traumatic stress. One of the major criteria for the diagnosis of post-traumatic stress is intrusive thoughts, nightmares, inability to obtain restorative sleep. Many people suffering from post-traumatic stress currently are being treated by myself and other certification physicians. We cannot certify them for post-traumatic stress. We certify them for their chronic pain and many of the associated symptoms that they have with post-traumatic stress. And we get what's called a fortuitous side effect in medicine, where, okay, we can't certify you for this, but you've got something else and you'll gain benefit with this because you're treating something else. Post-traumatic stress has many things that are associated with it. It's not just a problem for an individual coming back from combat or a battered spouse. These people have higher rates of divorce. They lose their jobs because they can't function anymore and they withdraw from society. They commit suicide. 18 suicides a day was the number that I heard. That's amazing. I know that the VA is really concentrating right now on the risk of suicide in returning veterans from Iraq and Afghanistan. This has been a problem for some time. The main issue with marijuana and post-traumatic stress is the current mainstay of therapy is cognitive therapy. Basically, post-traumatic stress is people that have a stressor and they do not have the coping skills in order to deal with those stressors. They need to be taught those skills. The arguments that you will hear from the people that do not want to use medical marijuana with post-traumatic stress is that, oh, they're not in the present tense, it interferes with their cognitive therapy. Now, I'm going to be very blunt. Cognitive therapy lasts for years. And if it's a matter of going into therapy for 5 years versus 6 years, that's a small price to pay for somebody that's going to do a .44 caliber taste test because they cannot bear their life anymore. We make a big play in medicine of involving patients in their own therapeutic decisions. Cancer patients, glaucoma patients, chronic pain patients currently have the option of using medical marijuana. Not all take that option, but the option is available to them. Why are we not giving this option to patients with post-traumatic stress? The doctor and the patient are the ones that know best how this disorder is affecting this person's life. If we save one marriage or prevent one suicide and return somebody to productive society by allowing them access to medical marijuana as a diagnostic criteria without having something else that we have to kind of sneak them in on, I think that it's worth it. When I first started doing medical marijuana, a very wise physician told me what marijuana does for people. The normal state of affairs as a human being is to have an appetite. It's to be without pain. It's to be able to sleep. It's to be free of anxiety. Marijuana acts as a moderator to bring you back to that steady state. We need to be able to offer this to people with post-traumatic stress. Thank you.
I love that that last 30 seconds or so. It really is for a lot of people, and it can really help them, maintain even balance and just get out of their regular head. It's sort of a distraction. Anyway, Dr. Bob Townsend. All right, one more, and then some rock and roll. And this is the head of the Epilepsy Foundation. This is from CBS Denver. Wants marijuana oil available. So even the Epilepsy Foundation is coming around to reality.
In tonight's Health Watch, desperate families are moving to Colorado in search of relief for their children's seizures. They want to try a new strain of marijuana. CBS 4 health specialist Kathy Walsh recently met a man who is fighting for access to this pot on a national level.
That's right, Karen. He is the chairman of the board of the National Epilepsy Foundation, and he believes all children living with debilitating seizures should have the opportunity to try this marijuana oil. It's believed that this plant can help stop a child's suffering. Charlotte's Web, grown in Colorado, named for Charlotte Figge. Charlotte and others with severe epilepsy have found relief from seizures by ingesting the plant's oil. It is marijuana low in THC, but rich in cannabidiol, or CBD. It is hemp, high in hope.
There is enough evidence to suggest that we should really try and study this.
Warren Lammert wants to believe. His daughter Sylvie had her first epileptic seizure at 9 months.
She had an implanted medical device. She's tried the ketogenic diet, but we haven't found anything that will control her seizures.
Sylvie is now 16. Despite numerous treatments, she still lives with daily seizures.
She's delayed, and she's in a special school.
And Warren is a desperate dad. He is chairman of the board of the Epilepsy Foundation and has enrolled Sylvie in a clinical trial of CBD at NYU.
I feel blessed to at least have the hope of this new therapy, and I feel that other fathers, other mothers, other families should have that hope and have that option.
But most other families don't. So many are sacrificing. Approximately 100, representing 43 states and 2 countries, have moved to Colorado, where medical marijuana is legal. The Epilepsy Foundation has taken a stand that an end to seizures should not be determined by one's zip code, and that more research is essential. The Stanley brothers developed the Charlotte's Web strain here in Colorado. Parents of epileptic children have pushed at least a dozen states to consider legalizing the marijuana oil.
Something that's given them hope.
Absolutely.
All right, Kathy, thank you.
Okay. It's great that we're progressing, but now it's time to get ready for the weekend. And the big 420 parties are starting. There's one tomorrow down in Albuquerque that I know of from one of the dispensaries, Natural RX. And you should go to their Facebook page and find out about it if you're here in New Mexico. I'll be down there tomorrow afternoon. And so let's get ready for the weekend. And we can get ready with a little champagne and reefer.
Bring me champagne when I'm thirsty. Bring me a reefer when I want to get high.
So we'll be back tomorrow night again with another news show. It'll be a little lighter tomorrow. Have a correspondent calling in from Denver, from all the big events up there. And a little bit of news, probably, most likely. And don't forget, Wednesdays with Larawana. That's my show on CanawanaBuy.com. And it's out every Wednesday. It's CanawanaBuy.com is for all of your cannabis needs. And again, also this Wednesday, I'll be down at the Department of Health here at the Runnels Building, 9 a.m. to 12, at the Medical Cannabis Programs Advisory Board meeting. It's going to be trying to get Alzheimer's disease on. Anybody should come down there and support this. Everybody should. If you know anybody that is involved with Alzheimer's, please send them over. And so I'll be there. So I want to thank my two radio mentors, both with the initials HS. Thank you for your inspiration. And again, I'll be back tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Mountain and 6 p.m. Pacific with another new show. 420 weekend, everybody. Let's party. Feel well. And happy Passover.
Shalom.
And Easter.